Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another coffee time with Blind United. I am the main host, I guess, Ed, and I am joined in the studio with my co-hosts, Brittany and Pedro, and then we have a guest in here with us this morning from Texas, all the way from Texas, Carol. Good morning, everybody. Ladies first.
Good morning, Ed. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Pedro. What'd you guys do this weekend?
I just worked on work, tried to catch up on the weekend. That's all.
And I actually enjoyed my weekend off. I was out with my better half. We went out, um, Knott's trip and stuff like that. The Boysenberry Festival was great. The food tasting was excellent too. They had some good meals. So check that out,
Okay,
guys. It was, I think, for 2 weeks it's going on. But yeah, overall, I had a good weekend.
Good
okay,
morning,
okay.
everyone. I actually went to the NFB. We have every second Saturday our meeting, so I really enjoyed that as well, and just enjoyed the good weather here in Texas after the rain that we had.
That's right. That's right. So, all right. Well, just to do what we do here, first, I want to say welcome YouTube. This is our first edition of Coffee Time being streamed over on YouTube. So, I look forward to a lot more stuff being put on YouTube from Blind United. So, for those that know us and know what we do, please run over to YouTube, like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell to change it to all notifications. That way, you'll get every time we get ready to do something, you'll get a notification about what we're doing in YouTube. So, what we do normally every morning when we do this is we actually go and start by telling you what we got going on within our interest group each day. And today, really all we have is fitness this evening with Relicia Hicks.
That's 6 o'clock PlayStation time.
Yes. Okay, but again, that's at 6 p.m. And you can come in and get your little sweat on. You know what I'm saying? Get ready. Summer's coming. Won't be too long.
That's true. That's true. You could tone up your body. You could
That's
start
right.
meet other folks that are doing similar activities, fitness. Summer is coming up. That's beach weather where I'm going to the beach for sure this year. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so dedicated. I downloaded my Fitness Pal. That thing asks a lot of questions, that app, but I'm gonna try it out.
Um, the one with the counter and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also use my Fitness Pal. It does break down your foods and how much percentage of fat and things you should intake during your day. You can set up your calorie goal by how active you are, and they have so many different restaurants. If you just want to look up the calories of meals, they have a big catalog for different restaurants and things like that. And I know if you subscribe, they also break down your macros and nutrients. Also, when I take vitamins, I used to log my vitamin count in there, and it will put it all that data, all everything, my food, my macros, everything into my health app, so I could see the trends and all that, and take advantage of the iPhone's health app also. And
Okay.
I also let that app pull data from my other health apps, like let's say my Smart Scale and other fitness apps, and it counts towards your calories. So let's say you did a workout and you get extra 300 calories. So let's say you're down to nothing and you work out and you get a couple hundred calories, and that's like a meal, like a short snack. But you could also just, just eat your 3 meals, do your diet or however you're doing your meal plan, or scheduling, and you could see how much calories you're actually burning and how much you're eating, and your intakes and outtakes. So
Yeah, there's
it's
a
pretty
lot of
cool.
it's pretty cool. It gives you a lot of information, and there's a lot of different apps in the health app that's really really helpful. And I mean, it's really cool to have all this information at our fingertips.
Yeah, and the app, it is accessible, guys. It is blind friendly. Okay, so it is free, but if you don't want ads and you want extra information like nutrients and macros, I think you could sign up. I think they got a first month, 1 month free trial.
Okay. Introduction
Hmm.
offer.
Yeah.
An introduction offer, correct?
Okay. Well, I mean, I know you really into your health, Pedro. So I mean, I know you know a lot about it. You keep track of all that stuff. I ain't got it ready to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking forward to the summertime. We can hopefully get back into doing some of these group outings, and I'll get my little exercise that way. You know what I'm saying? Just traveling around and
Yeah,
go
and
finding us different locations to go have lunch, and maybe an adult beverage or two.
Yeah, but
mhm.
then if we're gonna walk and then have an adult beverage, then we're pretty much drinking all of our calories again. But it's all good.
But
I'm
that
all
in that intel, but there was a study talking about seniors, actually 52 and up. If you just take 30-minute walk, a brisk walk helps a lot in your health. Even if it's up to an hour and you do a brisk walk, even if you might have that drink in hand, but it doesn't say that in that study.
Right.
But
good.
you're still working your heart, and it's to keep your heart. It says it helps with keeping your mind sharp too. So it is good to take a walk and stuff. There's different studies says that for people that are like 50 and up, it does help. 30 minutes, even 20 minutes helps.
Wow. I'm coming up way short.
I
You
mean, just as
do-
long as you're
mhm.
physically active in some way, even if your diet is crappy, they say that even if you're physically active, you will live longer. Just do that 30-minute brisk walk or whatever. So,
Well, I guess I'm a freak of nature again because I just don't do a lot of that. I mean, I'm the kind of person I can't go for a walk unless I'm actually going somewhere. I can't go out and walk just to walk. I got to have a destination in mind and a purpose for the walk. I guess exercise is a purpose, but you get my point. If I'm going to the store, or something like that, or
Mhm.
I'm good. But and then me being a junk food junkie, I mean, I'm serious. My entire life, no fruit, no fish, no vegetables. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, according to all of these experts or whatever, I should be sitting in a convalescent home somewhere, but
Well,
I'm not. I'm good.
I read a study. I read a study that even too much exercise can contribute to short lifspan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I read that study before. I can't go too much in details because it was a little way back, but they said um, there's been athletes that die young too, and especially work people that work out really vigorously, that work out a
Wow.
lot. But I think you gotta know. your body. You got to know when to rest. You got to know take your vitamins. Eat a balanced diet. And I know myself. I don't eat too much healthy. I do like certain vegetables and fruits and stuff, but I don't work out every day. I try to keep a consistent type schedule, but sometimes it's hard with life. So even just getting a couple of reps in, jogging in place, or just go walk around sometimes it helps. Or go to for myself and some of our friends, we hit knots and we walk all over the knots park, you
I
know?
mean, and that's a good. See, I can do that kind of walking. I can sit there and walk around, all day long at the park like that, whatever, as long as I got somebody, that knows their way around the park and we're not going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to find a particular ride and finding out we didn't walk past it 5 times.
Yeah, but in the long run, we did more steps. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, sometimes it's tough. It's tough. But man, Monica's probably in the comments. Good morning.
Hey, Monica.
Man, she knows knots, so she be guiding me around. Hey, I'm trying to learn knots too, though. Trying to learn the layout. She's been explaining me the layout. Pretty
Well,
soon, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
be
gonna mention
navigating.
no names, but the last time I was at Nice, they wanted to go on what is it, the Gold Rush,
Mm,
the little
mm,
train thing,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
we walked past that thing at least 5 times, Pedro. And I mean, I could hear the little sound. It was telling me it was there, and I kept saying, "We're walking past it again," and they just kept walking and kept walking. They get to the other end, and they turn around and come back and went, "All right, we're walking past it again."
Well, that's the fun thing about being blind. If you get lost, you could burn extra calories by wandering around aimlessly. Like, you got to think about it that way.
Yeah,
Whoopee.
well, all that extra walking, though, I fell asleep on the ride home. I was just wore out from all the unnecessary walking. How about that?
Hey, it's
You
necessary
know.
for your health, man.
Well, I mean, I get that, Pedro, but
Yeah, I
when you
know.
just,
I'm just pulling your strings.
yeah. So,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
eat your broccoli, you'll be fine.
I
Yeah.
mean, as long as I keep waking up, I'm good. I feel blessed every morning when I wake up, so I'm good. He gave me another day, and I try to do better each day.
Hmm.
Generally, don't succeed, but I try anyway.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
honestly, I like keeping track of all that, like my health stuff, but I don't look at it every single day. Sometimes I just go to my highlights and it would tell me, okay, you've been burning this much calories for the last 26 weeks. Your walking heart rate was at this average in the last 4 weeks, and then I checked the last 26 weeks. I get pointers like your walking heart rate has lowered in the last 4 weeks, and sometimes that happens when you've been active. So sometimes your heart rate uses less force it doesn't force itself to do certain activities. So I sometimes go by highlights and other little metrics they have there for those that like the Apple Watch and like reading graphs. They also have an accessible audio graph that you're able to access like within the health app. So if you know how to do your rotor actions, you swipe down until it says audio graph and it will play a tone for you. And the higher pitch the tone goes, the line is going up, and then the lower the tone goes, and you could hear if you have your phone headphones on, you could hear it going from left to right, so you kind of visualize the graph. That's one of the
Oh,
neat
wow.
features
That's
that.
super cool.
So,
Hmm. I
so
like that.
those that are listening in for the first time might be catching us on YouTube. Let me explain that Pedro is our advanced technology Apple guy. He's all about Apple. He knows it in and out, and he just has that mindset that he wants to be able to use his Apple devices exactly like the sighted folks do. So again, that's why he's so knowledgeable about what is accessible, what is not accessible. So he does his interest group on the first and second Wednesday of every month at
I
7
thought it was the
p.m.
first
No,
and
the
third
first and the
Wednesday.
third. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, first and third. I'm sorry, I get them mixed up. I got some. We got 23 groups on our schedule, so
So
it's
come join us.
yeah, come join us. I mean, but again, Pedro is the first and third at 7 p.m. So anyway, I
PlayStation
want to
time.
share a little information about what we do, Pedro.
All right, let's do it.
You can visit our website, blindunited.org. That website again is blindunited.org. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or would like to be added to our email list, you can email us at info@blindunited.org. That email address again is info@blindunited.org. If you would like to reach us by phone, you can call us at 909-846-8825. That number again is 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Blind United 22. You can follow us on our Facebook group, which is Blind United Interest Groups, and you can also join our Facebook page, Blind United. Blind United. Blind United. Blind United.
All right. So again, I'm excited to be over here on YouTube and see what we can build over here on YouTube. So although we do have many of these other platforms, we've been doing coffee time now for a few months, and we just actually got ourselves established on YouTube, got our channel up and running. So again,
Drop some comments, show some love, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, guys. All that good
all
stuff.
of that. So
Speaking of comments, Monica said that she ain't got time for all them apps that Pedro be using, graph and stuff. So that's what she said. She don't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
right.
Any
Well,
more
I mean,
comments?
And I'm into fitness myself here in Dallas. You all need to send a little beach here, but I'm not into really just counting calories and getting on a diet. I always say if a doctor tells me I need to go on a diet, I'm changing doctors. I just enjoy food, but I try to at least run in place and all of that good stuff myself, just to kind of keep
Yeah.
myself healthy.
well, you can come on and hang out with me, Carol. We're good, sweetheart.
Yeah,
I hear you, Ed.
and I do it to just to know the averages calories to things like for a burger meal or just a burger. I already kind of know the averages of the calories. It's just to keep myself, to think because sometimes if I don't keep myself in check, I will blow up.
That's
you
all right.
know.
I don't care. It just depends on
Me
how hungry
either.
I am, determines what burger place I'm
Mhm.
going to and what
Me
size burger
too.
I'm getting ready to get. So
All right.
so
Wow.
anyway, we also share some information here on Blind United in the coffee time segment. So hopefully everybody's got their coffee and listening in. So Pedro
And
has
Paul
some.
commented he ain't got time for all those apps either. So
See, I'm winning.
Yeah.
So
Egg
what?
one, Pedro zero.
Right.
Zero.
No, I
Ding,
got
ding, ding,
two.
ding,
I got
ding.
Paul and Monica. So you got to catch
Okay.
up, dog.
Oh
Well,
wow.
actually, I got three because Carol's over here with me too.
I'm in it.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
hey,
in
taking
it.
that's
all
not
I can
fair.
get.
Sorry, Pedro. Sorry.
That's not fair, guys.
Ding, ding,
But
ding.
yeah, but I got an article for you guys. iOS 18. Excuse the clip. The clip got clipped in the beginning. I will fix that pretty soon. But it's iOS 18 rumors. Let's go.
Title Apple iPhone 16, Everything We Know, from Features to Design.
Wrong one. Oh my
Intro
God.
Every Rumor.
My bad, guys. I thought it was the iOS 18. I think I hit the wrong key. But let's continue. This one is iOS 16 rumors. Excuse the mistake. So let's hear it again.
Title iOS 18, to bring hearing aid mode to AirPods Pro.
Technical difficulties. Well, it happens. But iOS 18. Let's hear these rumors. I'm pretty excited about this one, actually.
Here's why that's exciting. Looking at rumors about Apple's upcoming AirPods models, I told you a few months ago that I'm most interested in health features rather than even better noise cancellation. Specifically, I was excited to hear Apple was looking to give the AirPods hearing aid capabilities. That wasn't surprising, considering Apple has already developed AirPods features that can help people hear better. If this new AirPods Pro rumor is accurate, Apple might bring a hearing aid mode to the earphones via the iOS 18 update this year. Therefore, the feature will not require the purchase of a next-gen model. I don't have a hearing problem, officially. But I'm probably one quick trip to a doctor's office away from getting a diagnosis. That's why I'm already thinking about the tech of the future that will help me improve my hearing. Since I wear AirPods regularly, I'd be thrilled if they would work as hearing aids. I'm not talking about the Conversation Boost and Live Listen features already available from AirPods Pro, but an actual, better hearing aid mode. After all, studies already show that AirPods work as improvised hearing aids. Apple could just improve its capabilities in the years to come. According to Mark Gurman, that's what's happening. A hearing aid mode is coming to the AirPods Pro via the iOS 18 update this year. Gurman said as much in his comments following this week's Power On newsletter on Bloomberg, via 9 to 5 Mac. Gurman said the AirPods Pro will not get any hardware changes this year. The big news will be a major new hearing aid mode, coming alongside iOS 18. Gurman didn't offer additional details about the hearing aid mode. Still, turning the current AirPods Pro earphones into hearing aids with the help of software would be a huge upgrade. I would assume you'd need AirPods Pro 2 to get the feature. But you won't have to upgrade if you already own the earphones. Also, remember that great AirPods models routinely go on sale from Amazon and other retailers. You'll be able to score better deals than the official $249 price. Now back to the show.
Okay. Well, I mean, that sounds interesting for me. I mean, I'm supposed to wear hearing aids anyway. But the ones I have, they're really kind of bulky. It's got this cord that it almost feels like a wire that you stick in your ear with a little rubber thing on it, and the rest of it hangs behind your ear. And I'm being honest, I really don't like them. And there's a lot of the Bluetooth delay, you know what I'm saying, between what I'm doing on my phone and what I hear in my ear. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with with the iPods, but I'm hoping that they're a lot better on that level at least.
Yeah, well, the AirPods, depending on if they got like Bluetooth 4.0 and stuff like that. There's different versions of Bluetooth, but yeah, if they bring this feature to the phone, I think it could help a lot of people. Plus, a lot of people also be on their phones that do need hearing aids. So if you could make both, like use them as hearing aids and for your phone, you don't have to carry too many different batteries, chargers, extra device. You have them all right there within in one
So,
device.
do you know, Pedro? I mean, I do know that, my hearing level in one ear is different than the other ear. So, are they going to be adjustable on that level to basically, turn it up on one side and down on the other side or something like that?
Um, they might be some options like that. I will have to look. I know they do have a live listen mode and stuff like they were saying in the article, but for now they do have. You could have it on stereo, but if you do have a hearing impairment, you could turn it to mono. That the sound just comes in like comes in equal on both AirPods. But they might do some customizable things like that. I hope they do something like that. Apple likes ease of use. They like sometimes putting some features like that, and something like that could drastically help if you want to just turn up one, and let's say you have one of your ears is more sensitive than the other.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I hear better in my left than I do in my right. So I would need the volume up a little higher in my right. Or you
Yes.
got other people that, there's nothing wrong with one ear and then the other ears, they can't hardly hear anything. So again, they would actually have to turn that side up even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
To balance it out because again, balance in our hearing, number two, helps us with our equilibrium, number one. Number
Yes.
two, when we're out and about and navigating through the city, especially when we're getting ready to cross these intersections and stuff, we want that balanced hearing in order to be able to, execute our mobility skills properly.
Yes, of course. And it would make sense to put that in there because you don't want to turn it up for your ear that hardly can hear, and your better ear is getting all that extra loudness and might be getting damaged. We want to prevent that, and the
Exactly.
common sense would be to add something like that
Yeah.
feature like that.
Well, I look forward to that. So that's rumored to come out in the iOS 18, and I guess that'll be out later this year.
Yes, yes. They're gonna show it off in WWDC, what they usually do. They didn't have a spring conference like they was gonna have. They brought out some new MacBooks. Um, but that will come in like let's say September, the iOS. But
Okay.
for those that want to beta test it, you could sign up to the beta tester program. You will get it after a month after the developers get the release.
Okay.
Also a side note for that, a lot of people like using their secondary device to beta test instead of their primary device because sometimes bugs do happen. I had one time where VoiceOver stopped working on one of the first beta releases, and this was when public beta was just coming out. It has improved. They also have a feedback app that you can send them feedback, and if you beta test, it's always good to give them feedback and tell them the bugs and tell them all that stuff, or how can they improve the iOS system. Also, they
Right.
do listen and stuff like that.
I'm
You
just
know.
curious, Pedro. I know you're
Yes.
speaking of the updates with the AirPods, but I was an Android lover before I actually became an iPhone user, being visually impaired or blind now. And
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that the difference between the two is the speakers of the phone. The Apple's phones are terrible as far as the speakers. You barely can
Um.
hear them. And if you're not using an AirPod, just hearing someone or just getting your volume up, especially if you're in a loud area. I
Mm-hmm.
know they're focusing on the AirPods. If you have something in your ear, that's not a problem as far as putting a headset on or something like that. But just without that, are they
Yes.
talking about possibly improving the speakers
Well,
of
Well,
the
it
there's
Apple
also,
phone?
I think, it would also depend on what phone you have as well,
exactly.
Carol.
I have the 11.
Okay. Well, see, I have a 15,
Yes.
and I mean, I just went there. My 10 was low, my XR was low, but my 15 Pro, man, I don't even really need a Bluetooth speaker anymore.
Yeah, and that is true. When you get a standard model, let's say you got the standard 11 or the 12, the pros are gonna have the better quality speaker and things like that. I do have a pro. It is pretty loud, but the max will be louder, I think, because it's more cavity space in there for a bigger speaker. But from what I read, they got the same speaker, the pros, but they do have a better speaker, it's true. I had an 11th, and yeah, once you upgrade, you will notice the it gets louder and stuff like that. But in halls and big echo places, yeah, sometimes I gotta bring it up to my ear, and it's true.
Yes, I do. I do.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Right, right, right,
And
And
I
right.
have an 11 Pro or whatever the highest model was for the 11. That's
the
been my
11
only
plus, I
the
think.
only and my first iPhone ever. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is horrible.
Okay. Well, you might need to get a slightly newer model.
I
Let's say
possibly
we're
do. I mean, my phone's
15.
paid for, so the only reason why I hadn't upgraded is because the only changes were the cameras, and I don't take pictures because I'm blind.
Well,
Mm,
no, the newer stuff in the new. Well, if hers is a pro, will she have lidar, Pedro?
I don't think they introduced the Pro models back then.
Okay,
They had the 11, the 11 Plus. They introduced the lidar sensor on iPhone 12,
12 Pro.
and yeah, 12 Pro. And the lidar sensor, Carol, is something that shoots out like a light, and it's like a radar, and
Uh-huh.
it can model something 3D. But for us, it could do object recognition. It could point us to a door. It could tell us how far is the door because it's sending out light, and this light sensor will get that light back and see how far is that object or wall or door or table or chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
That's
if
so
I
for us.
was to get a model,
it'll actually measure the distance, Carol, and say, door straight ahead, 10 feet, something like that.
Exactly.
okay, okay. So if I was to, I mean, I'm qualified for it through T-Mobile. So if I was to just upgrade, what would I need to get? A 15 Max, you're saying?
No,
Or
well,
a
I mean, if you
15
want the
Pro,
bigger,
not a Max.
yeah, if you
I'm
want a
I'm
bigger
sorry.
phone, then you go with the Max. But if you're just looking for to have the lidar, all you need is a 15 Pro.
I'm looking for a loudspeaker as well.
Well, mine again, I have the 15 Pro now, and if you're gonna wait, I mean, if you don't mind waiting, when the 16 comes out, the 15s are gonna be on sale.
Exactly.
True. That's true.
Also, Carol, you could take your phone into an Apple store or to your T-Mobile store and compare both. Turn them up. Tell them that you want them to turn on voiceover, or if Siri's working on the phone, just turn voiceover on. Sometimes I do it just to mess with them and leave the Apple store.
Oh, I do that
Right.
too.
But you could
Let them
compare the
figure out how to
speakers.
turn it off. Okay.
Turn it off,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. But in that point, guys, we're gonna let you know where you could contact us.
You can visit our website, blindunited.org. That website again is blindunited.org. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or would like to be added to our email list, you can email us at info@blindunited.org. That email address again is info@blindunited.org. If you would like to reach us by phone, you can call us at 909-846-8825. That number again is 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Blind United 22. You can follow us on our Facebook group, which is Blind United Interest Groups, and you can also join our Facebook page, Blind United. Blind United. Blind United.
All right.
And
Well,
apparently you can follow us on YouTube now. I don't know what.
We
we're
will.
going to get that today. I mean, we're going to have that link as well. The channel link will be in our reminders, and I will also put that into our description and stuff for the people that are not necessarily watching us on YouTube at this point. So, again, this is just the first day, so just bear with us, and we're going to bring all of this stuff back together, and we'll be straight in a minute. So,
And Ed
well,
has a birthday coming up, so if you want to donate some AirPods to him, that would be great.
Any comments, Brittany, before we move on?
No.
All right. Okay. So we have another article, and I hope I hit the right one because I forgot to rename these files. But
well, we'll talk about it, whichever one it is, my brother.
all right, I hope it's the iPhone 16 rumors right here. Let's
Okay.
take a listen.
Title Apple iPhone 16, Everything We Know, from features to design. Intro, every rumor, all in one place. After a few years of pretty incremental updates, the iPhone 15 lineup was surprisingly impressive. This September's releases included the iPhone 15 Pro, the first iPhone to pack a titanium body and customizable action button. But even the standard model packed a punch in 2023, with coveted new features like the Dynamic Island making their way to the budget version. So, the iPhone 16 range is going to have big shoes to fill this year. Rumors about the next generation of iPhone are pretty scarce right now, but if previous years have taught us anything, that won't last for long. And before the iPhone 15 had even launched, we'd started to hear one or two tidbits about its successor. We'll keep this page updated with every rumor and leak as they come in, and if you don't fancy waiting, take a look at the best iPhone 15 deals available now. iPhone 16 design. One of the more persistent rumors about the iPhone 16 suggests we're in for bigger screen sizes this time around. Various leakers have suggested the iPhone 16 Pro will have a 6-3-inch display, while the iPhone 16 Pro Max will reach 6.9 inches. These are in contrast to the current respective Pro and Pro Max sizes of 6.1 and 6.7 inches. Another, slightly less notable rumor concerns the camera layout. Apparently Apple might be planning to do away with the current diagonal lens layout on the standard model, returning to a vertical arrangement last seen on the iPhone 12. And as always, there are rumors that next year could be the year that Apple finally goes properly all-screen. Nobody liked the notch, and the Dynamic Island is a decent compromise, but it's still a necessary evil design to house the front camera and Face ID sensor. But with even notable Apple leaker Ming Chi Kuo suggesting 2024 is the year we'll see an all-screen iPhone, it might just happen. iPhone 16, specs and features. Intel on the features is even scarcer, but we've heard one or two rumors. The first is that Apple could be planning to, finally, let the entire iPhone lineup enjoy its 120Hz promotion refresh rate in 2024. Fans have been crying out for this for years, with 60Hz pretty measly for a smartphone these days. Currently, only the Pros have promotion, but like the Dynamic Island, it could become standard issue across the entire lineup. But we've also heard contrary rumors that Apple is still planning to stick to 60Hz for the basic iPhone 16, which seems pretty ridiculous. We've also heard that Apple is planning to introduce its own, custom-designed battery. This could prove as game-changing as Apple Silicon, offering massively enhanced efficiency. Now back to the show.
So I got a quick question, Pedro, that was mentioned in there a few different times. And I noticed it on my 15 Pro. What is a dynamic island and what does it do? What's its purpose?
Dynamic Island is it depends on your apps if it's gonna take use that. I know for like let's say Uber, if you book a ride, I think now they support Dynamic Island. So let's say you're in other apps and stuff, and you tap the Dynamic Island, it will say Uber ride coming up 3 minutes, and it will keep you updated with that Dynamic Island when let's say your food's getting dropped off and things like that. It will start warning you. You know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so it could be used for different things, and I'll bring you more on that. Um, let's see what's up with an article. But yeah, it's been introduced. Like they were saying in the article, some of the features, some of these hardwares that's inside the phone starts coming in
Okay.
standard budget models, and that's always good. But I Apple is a little slow when it comes to bringing like the 128 screen refresh rate. I know we're blind, we don't use that, but it is for visual people or people that have high vision there, you know. But Apple's always kind of last when it comes to certain features like that. But in the same time, Apple's first to accessibility sometimes,
Right,
you
right.
know? And um, I know when Android, when they were bringing out their phones before Apple made 128 gig standard, Android like Samsung, LG, and all these other companies were already giving you options and standard options to have a lot of gigs on your phone, and we were still on 64, and sometimes we were still stuck in 32. So, not having an SD card slot or anything like that, that puts a constraint on us being in that Apple ecosystem. So it's good that they're little by little they start, bringing it in, but I would like them to be the first on something sometimes. But Apple. But that aside.
Well, I mean, again, like you said, they, in my opinion, they're always been first when it comes to accessibility and stuff for us. And I think that the evidence in that is not all, but the majority of folks in our community do have iPhones. It's just because it's so much easier to use
Mhm.
than navigating within the Android and TalkBack and those other stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, you've tried it out. You know, you don't like it. I know me and Carol was talking about last night, I
uh,
believe, and
it's not that I don't like it. I'm not
Yes.
too fond of the system. It could be simplified. But one of the things that does get people is that they're used to iPhone, so getting used to an Android it becomes a little tougher. But it is accessible. You are able to navigate the phone settings, turn off Wi-Fi, and have shortcuts on Android. I'm not trying to take anything away from Android because it is it has improved drastically when it comes
right.
to accessibility. They have a good refined beta testing program also that I'm about to get into. I'm gonna check this program out. But the way I'm seeing their program and documentation that I'm reading, I think they have a better beta testing program than Apple.
Okay.
Yeah, so Apple has room to improve. It does need to improve, but sometimes we put Apple too much in a pedestal and we don't see some of the stuff that they're lagging on, and they
Right. When
do
they're
lag
coming
on
up
certain.
short.
Yeah, they're coming up short in some things, you know, but you know, that's what
I,
we that's where the ecosystem we're on. I do like the seamlessly system that works between Mac and iPhones. I ain't gonna lie about that one.
well, and plus, like you said, we need to advocate as well for, like I say, universal finger gestures between the various types of phones. Because
Yes,
when you
yes.
learning that the finger gestures for Apple, and then you go and just keeping it 100. I mean, some folks can't necessarily afford an iPhone or whatever. They may need to go with a cheaper model and get an Android. I'm not saying that Android doesn't have high-dollar phones, because we know they do, but again, you can get the talk back and stuff like that on a cheaper phone, which would definitely be more
Yeah.
of an advantage to our community. But at the same time, if we had those universal finger gestures, it would just make it a lot
Well,
easier for people to go back, be able to go from one to the other.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm working on drafting that, and I want to call it universal gestures. It's not only if you can afford an iPhone, just like a sighted person could put down their iPhone and pick up their Android phone and start using it seamlessly without learning how to use it, or let me learn how to see this. No, you know what I mean? I want to have
Right.
universal gestures so I could pick up my Android phone or my iPhone and able to use it seamlessly when I want to. Some features Android do have that um, iPhones don't have, that I just seen for us visually impaired people. They might bring this feature later, but Android does have one up on iPhone right now from what I've seen that they're testing out. So they're concentrating on accessibility, guys. And if we want to access these phones, at least have general, basic, universal gestures. And I'm working on that, and I'm trying to get a team together to see what we can do. But I should be able to, if I want to buy two phones, or let's say I want to teach somebody how to use their Android. I could go back and forth.
Well, and
My
it's
listening is my eyes, and things like that. So,
I see it being able to go even further, Pedro. I mean, with a lot of the medical devices and stuff now that may have a touch screen on them. I mean, even appliances and stuff that we have in our homes now that have these touch screens on them. If they
yeah,
had the accessibility features with the universal finger gestures, then we can go in there and we can, like we was talking about earlier with your washing machine. Okay, it's great. You got an app that you can do that way, but at the same time, if you just go and could, navigate within that touch screen on the appliance,
hmm
man, it'd be great. I mean, but at this point, I mean,
well,
you got to have these finger commands for this and those finger commands for that. And
hmm
next thing you know, now you got 5 different sets of finger gestures you have to learn when it
yeah,
just
and
makes everything so much more seamlessly, as you say, if everything was universal between all of these devices.
correct, they're correct, and for these touchscreen devices like the washer, some microwaves, and some coffee machines and other devices. For us folks, for my sighted folks that are listening or watching, when we want to get an accessible microwave, when you guys could go to Amazon and get a $50 one or a $30 one, just for us to get a talking one is $300 sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a surplus charge. I don't know why. Being blind, they think you might came into some money. I don't know what's going on there, but it's a big disconnect that we have. Some of our devices that make our life easier and accessible, they're selling them for 800. A recorder
Yes.
and an ebook reader type device. I'm not gonna really name names, but 800 to 1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a big disconnect, especially for the folks that don't have the state providing these devices, where the state feels that they don't have to provide these devices because these folks might be a senior or these folks might not just qualify. They might have too much vision, you know, but we shouldn't let anyone that is not in our community dictate and tell us, oh, well, you have this type of site, so you don't qualify for that. You shouldn't. You should be able to qualify for what you need, whatever makes your life easier and easy and to navigate. I'm all for it.
Or
They shouldn't
or
put no
bottom line,
boundaries.
I mean, I get, in research and product development, all that stuff is a big expense. But at the same time, you're creating devices for folks that, again, are 70% or underemployed. The majority of folks in our community, they just don't have the money. And when you're charging a premium for these accessible devices, you're putting us in a box to where now we have to depend on state rehab or somebody like that to be able to provide these devices to us. And now we're at the will of whatever the counselor says. He says, no, you don't need that. Well, we're not going to get it, unless you know how to advocate for yourself or something. So again, we just there's little things that are backwards in the system, and over here at Blind United, we take notice of those things, and those are definitely some of the things we definitely are trying to work on. So, with that being said, is it time for another info
Yeah.
break, connection
Yes, it
break,
is.
whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. And here's if you want to contact us or visit us on social media, here you go.
You can visit our website, blindunited.org. That website again is blindunited.org. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or would like to be added to our email list, you can email us at info@blindunited.org. That email address again is info@blindunited.org. If you would like to reach us by phone, you can call us at 909-846-8825. That number again is 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Blind United 22. You can follow us on our Facebook group, which is Blind United Interest Groups, and you can also join our Facebook page, Blind United. Blind United. Blind United.
All right. Well, we got about 10 minutes left, Pedro. You got another clip for us, or?
Yes, I got the app of the day, and this is a timers app. It could be customized into different ways. So let's take a listen.
On timer, voice timer. Description of app. This app provides timers with voice reminders at a frequency of your choice. Useful. You will be pleasantly surprised by how useful the app will be in many scenarios. Here is an incomplete list of possible use cases. Workout, we have you covered whether it's simple workout or complex workout routines. Habits, shape up some time-bounded habits. Kids, give your kids a disciplinary countdown. Be on time, get reminders before it's too late. Routines, perform daily time-bound routines. Exams/tests, be informed before the time's up. And many more. Customizable. You can have a per second voice countdown for the last 15 seconds. You can have a timer that reminds you every 5 seconds for the last minute, and every minute otherwise. The combinations of configurations are countless. You can choose the reminder language from 30+ languages. You can choose the reminder speed. You can even choose from different voices. You can also customize what the timer reminders are. You can set up advanced timers, each with different configurations. You can even chain timers together to build a powerful reminder system that you can find nowhere else. Thoughtful. The app provides single-tap access to timers, without any setup. The app has no ads or in-app purchases. The app is very small, so it doesn't waste your precious storage space. The app is super fast, so it's available the second you need it. The app provides a widget for even easier access. The app fully works even if the screen is locked. The app fully support voiceover. Now, back to the show.
Well, that sounds very, very interesting. I mean, I'm always setting timers all the time anyway for, stuff I'm cooking in the kitchen or whatever, stuff like that. So, sounds like something I would definitely use. Like I say, with my grandson, whatever, trying to get him up to go to school, I can set them little timers there as well. Because it seems, I don't know, every day I got to go in there and try to wake him up at least 2 or 3 different times. I don't.
The same with my children. Same with my children. I have to wake them up a couple times.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that sounds, that sounds, especially, like what we're doing here as well, giving us countdowns and stuff as far as, time to go live, or it's time to play, our infomercial kind of thing, whatever, different stuff like that. It really, really would help out. So sounds really, really good.
Yeah, I could see different uses. Like for working out, let's say you're running in place and you want to do 45-second intervals, like you run 45 seconds, you run at a standard pace, and then you rest, and then you come in and run another 45 seconds on a higher pace, things like that. Or let's say you're cooking and you want to set a couple of 1 minute timers, or a minute and 10 seconds, or you want it to count down the last minute in 5 intervals. It's so customizable, so you could use it for different things. I know for a standard timer, you might default to the regular timer application by Siri, because sometimes I default and use Siri, but Siri's been acting up too much since she's in timeout. But that that aside, this app sounds like it's so customizable, voiceover friendly for anybody that works out, for anybody that is studying and they need a timer to keep the tabs on how fast they completed the test. Even for studying, let's say, let me study for 15 minutes and then, or 10 minutes, and take a break and then come back. So you could be quizzing yourself. You got to put a 5 minute timer and you try to do a quick quiz, things like that. Time out for your children, like they said. So let's say you have 3 children. One has a 2 minute timeout. The other ones have 4 minutes, and you could set up 2 different timers.
Uh, Just don't use it to set a timer on how much time you spend with your girl.
Oof.
No,
Yes.
no.
So, but no, that sounds very, very good, man. I like the way, like you said, the customization of it. That's great. That's great. So you always do some good stuff there, Pedro. You come up with some very interesting apps. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that, my brother. Britt, you got anything on that timer or whatever?
I think it would be really cool. I'm gonna download it. I'm always trying to find new things to download because why not?
I mean, why not? We got 128 gigs now. I mean, we got plenty of space, right?
And if you need that space, I heard they got a 1 terabyte now.
Wow. I mean, I can't even imagine having a terabyte full of data for my apps and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I could see people in certain case scenarios that they're gonna use a lot of that data. For some, they do videos in 4K. That takes out a lot. Like 1 minute is I think it's how many mega? 120 megabytes or something like that. Also, when you take pictures, like when you want to do editing, I know they put them in JPEG files, but you can also save the raw file, the raw image, meaning when you put it in your software or whatever you're gonna do, and you want to change the color, you get way specific and detailed with the editing and changing the hue colors and stuff like that and warming up the picture depending how you want to enhance your picture. You get more of the you get more better results. Also, saving it in raw, you get the raw image file. So I think that's what people are gonna start saving once we start getting more megapixels and more data within our photos. If Apple thinks of a certain type of feature that I'm already thinking about. So let's say you take a picture of a statue, but it took a picture, but it also took a LiDAR picture, and all that data is included within that image. So let's say you want to see the image, you could see it in your computer. But let's say you're like, oh, I got a 3D printer, and I didn't got to model it, but with that LiDAR feature that's already built in, and Apple makes it a standard type thing. When you took that picture, it also took a modeling picture of the item, and that'd be
Right.
pretty cool. That'd be really dope because I know you could model already within other apps and model things and get a model of a statue or some character and you want to 3D print it, or you just want to see it in your phone and rotate it and whatever you want to do, it's there. But for us, it could give us a bigger description of an item. Let's say we send it to Be My AI. Imagine it has the picture, but it also has the 3D information of the model, and it could tell you the how it is, or how smooth the surface is, or if it's a bumpy surface. I know the AI is pretty good, but the more information we could feed a, let's say, a AI model, the better description and information we could probably get back from it. So
Well,
I'm looking forward to the future on that part.
well,
You
I
know.
just wish that they would use some of my 128 to store my pictures and quit sending me these things about updating my cloud storage because I got all this extra data on all this extra space on my phone, and you worried about what I'm doing in the cloud. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So
Mhm. Mhm.
that's my thing about it anyway. So, but anyway, we're actually getting pretty close to the end of our day today. So we got a last couple minutes. So again, I just want to welcome everybody that may be joining us on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, again, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hit that notification bell, get it set so you get more updates about what we're doing over here on YouTube, which we will be having a lot more content coming really, really soon on YouTube. So just stay tuned for all of that stuff. For all of our folks that listen to us over here on our YouTube, I'm sorry, on our Facebook side in our interest group, as well as on our the X side, formerly known as Twitter. We really, really do appreciate you. All the folks that dropped in and made comments today, Monica and everybody else, Paul, we really appreciate you as well. And Pedro.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us, especially on YouTube. And thank you for the comments. So comment or we go live. When you comment on YouTube, we will receive them over here in the studio.
Yeah. Please make sure you do that part as well. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on X, or even if when you're commenting from the Facebook group. Again, if you allow StreamYard to have access to your information, basically all it does is just let us have your name so that when you comment over here, we know who you are. So
exactly. And if you got any good information from our content, please share. You know, it goes a long way.
A long way. Please like, share as much as you possibly can. So Carol, Brittany, appreciate you ladies coming in and hanging out with us and chatting with us. So until tomorrow. Oh, thank you very much, Carol. We enjoy having you here. So until tomorrow, or whether we see you in the fitness group later on this evening, everyone have a great day. And thank you for joining Coffee Time with Blind United. We'll see you on the next one.